Welcome back, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest tonight has won an Emmy, 2 Grammys, and is the most awarded performer in Tony history with 6 Tony Awards in all 4 acting categories. She now stars as Mama Rose in Gypsy. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Audra McDonald. Hi.
Hello.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
You are starring, here we go, as Mama Rose in the revival of Gypsy. It's at the Majestic Theatre. That's a lot to take on. It has been called the King Lear of musical theater.
Yes.
Not just because of the conflict between the parent and the child, but it is a big role to take on.
It is fair.
Well, what's it like to play Mama Rose?
You know, a lot of times when you do shows, a lot of times your character's getting swept up in something. Mm-hmm. But Mama Rose, like getting swept up in a tornado or something.
Yes.
Like, instead of Dorothy getting swept up in the tornado, Mama Rose is the tornado.
Yeah.
So she's the one that is constantly whipping up all of the angst and drama and joy and all of it. So it's exhausting.
So you have to be the tornado on stage.
Be the tornado.
Not just acting, but singing. What do you do with all that adrenaline at the end of the day?
I have a really hard time going to sleep at night. When I get home, I have a really, really hard time. So I've done this thing now where I get home, and if I haven't grabbed a Reese's peanut butter cup. I try not to, but it happens from time to time. I get on my phone and I wait, because I'm up so late that I wait for the New York Times puzzle games to flip over to the next day.
The next day, yeah.
So that I can do them again, so I can get connections.
Sure.
Or spelling bee or Wordle or one of those. I'm trying to get them.
Mini crossword.
Wait a minute, wait.
What are your rules?
Yesterday I just have to show off. Yesterday I got Wordle in 2. That's never happened in my life.
Wow, 2 this morning. I got 2
this morning.
Very
Okay.
big.
All right.
And I do it against my wife, obviously. Evie and I are in competition.
Well, of course.
Yes, exactly. That sets the tone for the whole day. Who's in control? Who's the lord of the house?
Yes.
Based on how many guesses in Wordle.
Yes.
And just how furious Connections makes her.
Well, yes, and I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. There are some days where I just think, who hurt Connections? Who made them so?
That they want to pass on the cycle of abuse
trauma.
that way?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any self-imposed rules? Okay, I have to do Connections with no mulligans or anything?
Well, with Connections, I immediately press a shuffle the minute I turn it on. I go shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I don't want them to sort of
they're trying to throw you. They're trying to throw
I
you.
immediately shuffle, 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 shuffle.
Exactly.
Now I'll look at it.
Right.
These are important things.
This is not your first time in Gypsy.
No.
I understand you a long time ago, you played another
Yes, when I
part.
was 10 years old in Fresno, California, I played one of Uncle Jocko's kids, where I wore a Viking helmet and a breastplate and a big spear, and I sang a little bit of the Valkyries.
But you're 10 years old in Gypsy. Did you look at Mama Rose and go, I should do that? That should be me.
No.
Wait till they all see.
No.
Come on.
No, I swear, I had never really thought about playing Mama Rose. It was never a role.
Well, how did this? What inspired this?
It's crazy. What ended up inspiring it is a very dear friend of mine who's just passed away, an incredible actor, Broadway actor, Mr. Gavin Creel, and he passed away this past fall. Very dear friend of mine and of our family. He would come to Thanksgiving a lot at our house, and he came to Thanksgiving one year about 8 years ago, and he said, "Honey, I need to talk to you about something. I need to talk to you about something. I need to talk to you about something." So he dragged me into our garage after dinner and said, "You need to play Mama Rose. You need to do it. It needs to be a black woman, and it needs to be you, honey. You just have to figure out a way to do it. You have to do it." And I just sort of went, "What? Huh? Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe I could do that." Mm-hmm. And that set the ball rolling.
Well, now this is the first production. This is the first time that all 3 leads are black women.
Yes.
How does that reframe the story for you?
I'll say first off, we have not changed a single solitary line of dialogue. We've not changed one lyric. We have not changed anything about the show. It just hits differently. There are different layers. There's certain lines that Rose has in the show. One line is she says, You know why I did it? Why I did it for you? Speaking about why she did it for a kid, she said, because I was born too soon and got started too late. Now, you can say that as any race, and it means something. Think about that coming out of a black woman's mouth in the 1920s, and it just hits in a different way. So there's just layers there.
When you were on for Lady Day at the Emerson Bar and Grill, you said that that performance was inspired by your grandmother's voice, or like you used some of your grandmother's voice.
Yes.
Does your grandmother show up in Mama Rose?
Yes, Nana shows up in Mama Rose. There's one particular section in the show where Rose is gathering together leftover Chinese food, and in the script it says Rose is cheerfully humming as she sort of scrapes the food off the plates. And my grandmother, when she would hum, which was all the time, she would do this song that I don't know existed, but for her was always choo, 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 choo. So as I'm scraping the Chinese food off the plates, I go choo, 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 choo. I do that every night for my Nana. So Nana's a Gypsy
That's a nice
as well.
little wink.
Yeah.
It's about mother-daughter relationships
Yeah.
to a great degree. You have 2 daughters.
I do.
Have they come? What do they think?
Well, my oldest daughter is 23, and she came. She's come twice, and she loved it, and you know, was very moved. And I have an 8-year-old. It's very
Nice
different.
spread.
Yeah, nice spread. I didn't want to talk about it. It was a big surprise.
What a wonderful surprise.
Oh, an incredible, incredible surprise. And her name is Sally, and I was nervous about what she would think of the show. And so on opening night, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh gosh, so Sally's there, Sally's watching the show, and what's she thinking, how's she feeling? And then my husband came back, and then especially when we get to Rose's turn, which is very emotional, and Rose is basically having a breakdown. She's having a mental breakdown through song, you know. And it could be really hard to watch. And so I wondered what Sally was thinking. So my husband came back, and I said, you know, what'd she think? He said, oh, well, she loved the strippers when they were doing the Gotta Have a Gimmick number, and she loved that. I was like, great. I said, how'd she do during Rose's turn? How'd she do? And he said, oh, she was sleep. Knocked out, so I just bored her to sleep. So that's.
She can listen to the cast recording. She'll get it later.
Yes.
Okay, so you know, you are, as I said, you are the most Tony decorated performer in history. I'm sure there were people along the way. I'm sure there were people along the way who gave you some advice, some of it good, some of it bad.
Yeah.
I'm sure. There's a young lady in the audience who just moved to New York who asked me a question before the show. She's come here. She wants to be in musical theater.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for somebody who just metaphorically got off the bus in New York?
Where is she?
She's, see this? There she is, right there.
Hi. What I would say to you, every audition that you go to, be the solution to their problem. Don't try to make them like you. Be the answer to their problem. Their problem is who's going to play this part, which means be yourself. Be your authentic self. That's what they're looking for. That's what they have not seen. Be that.
She's set. She's set. So lovely to see you.
Nice
Thank you
to
so
see
much
you,
for
too.
being here.
Thank you so much.
Gypsy is now on Broadway at the Majestic Theatre and has been extended through the summer. Audra McDonald, everybody. We'll be right back.